Hi everyone, it's Moonlight Mason, and I want to share with you my thoughts on Shane Dawson's series, the very first one that released, The Beautiful World of Jeffree Star. So, if you would like to know my thoughts, now my thoughts and my viewpoints, I really try to make it interesting for you guys, especially towards the end when I bring it all together. And I try my best not to repeat something that you may have already heard. So I always have like a different perspective, a different viewpoint on things, and yeah, so I want to share it with you here. So if you want to see what I've been thinking or see a different perspective, you got to keep watching. And yeah, these are my notes. I take notes. Please give this video a thumbs up and leave your comments below. And you know what? I've never asked you to share this video, but I understand you can share this video too. So that would really help us get to 1,000 subscribers so I can get to my next giveaway, which who knows what it'll be, because when I'm at my 1,000 subscribers, you know, who knows, it may even be Jeffree and Shane's collab palette, makeup line, you know, whatever it's going to be. I think it's going to be a makeup line with a lot of merch, because they did show the mirrors and the backpack, and so we're all pretty excited about that. And it's all to get us excited. So as the 9 series goes on, we'll be seeing more and more merch, and we'll be seeing Jeffree and Shane become more vulnerable and more relatable, and we'll just fall in love with them more. That at the end, the natural progression will be to buy everything. So I hope that you guys do get that, and that is not a negative in any way, shape, or form. That is being a true entrepreneur, a true marketing genius, which I believe this whole series, that's what it's really about. And I'm just going to tell you right here, what it's really about is Shane coming into a man, leaving all of the self-deprecating views, all his self-criticism that he puts out there. And that is the one thing about, I don't want to do this. I don't want to go this way. I see where I was going. I was going to go into it. No, I have a guideline, and if I don't go through the guideline, what happens, I do this a lot, you guys, and I start talking, I get into it, right? And then what happens is at the end, when it's all done, I go and I look at my notes and I'm like, oh my God, this was like the most important thing to say, or I forgot to say this. And you know what? I put so much time and effort, you know, into recording it that I'm not going to record it again. So for that reason, I'm going to stick to my notes. Okay. The film also reminded me not so much of a docu-series or a nothing like that. It reminded me of a vlog, but with a very high quality vlog, kind of like a movie. That's what it was like. It was like, let's set the stage in the beginning. Let's explain who the characters are and where they are coming from. And that is why everything is shown to us in a certain way. There's a formula for this, okay? And these are two very intelligent people, marketing people, especially Jeffree Star. So it all starts in the, you know, once it gets going a little bit, it actually starts with Dramageddon 1, and it shows how and where Jeffree Star was at when that happened. When the film shows, and Jeffree says, you know, he had just ended the other series with Shane, the very first series. He had just opened up a store with for Morphe. I was going to say with Murphy. Murphy Brown. No, Murphy Brown was an actress. She had a TV show, Murphy Brown. Anyways, no, with Morphe. He had just opened up a store with Morphe with like 20,000 fans, and he was just so happy. He was so high. Everything was going so good for him. And then I believe he said he was in his hotel room when he saw that tweet of that picture of Manny MUA, Laura Lee, Gabriel Zamora, and Nikita Dragon, who escaped unharmed by the whole Dramageddon. She just escaped. But anyways, he got that, and then he went on to talk about how it just really brought him down, really messed him up. It just in other words, it threw him off, like you get knocked off of your, pedestal, like it rained on his parade, so to speak. And, he then goes on to share how Gabriel Zamora actually went over to his house, had a man-to-man talk, and, they talked it out, and that everything, is good now between him and Gabriel. And then I think Shane asked, well, what about, the others? And he said, yeah, everything's good for today. And a lot of, people are taking that when Jeffree said for today, they're making it a bigger deal than it is, and let's just bring some drama, that he threw a little shade, and maybe that means they'll never be friends again, and I don't want to put all that in there. He just said, well, yeah, like for today. And that could be like a little joke, like a little joke, or, maybe he meant that. But it seems like, to me, like Jeffree Star is getting to a place of forgiveness in his life because he's growing at a very rapid rate emotionally. And also, he's growing intellectually in his business and entrepreneurship. So that was one of the first things that happened. And then it went into his bodyguards. Now he has these two bodyguards, Colin and Roman. And what was so funny about his bodyguards is that Colin is so dedicated to Jeffree Star, so committed, really wanting to just, be there for him and do his job. I don't know. I'm a little confused if there just wasn't enough seats in the car, but Colin got into the trunk. He actually got into the trunk and said, let's go, and they zoomed away. Now, it could have been something like, do you guys remember that video when Jeffree Star went to the lowest rated tattoo shop, and he went there with his bodyguards, and they went in there a couple of times because they were being judged very heavily before they knew who he actually was, but it was in a really, really rough neighborhood. And so they were about to leave, and one of the bodyguards was actually standing around the car, waiting, I think, for Jeffree and, whoever his entourage was that was with him to get in. And at one point, the bodyguard goes, let's go, because he noticed that they were doing like some kind of drug deal. There was a car over there and some guys over there, and something was up, and they were looking over towards, Jeffree Star's entourage. And the security guard said, come on, let's go. And then they all got in the car real quick and left. And they felt that was, not a very safe situation. Well, I think, him getting into the trunk in this situation, maybe it was one of those things where he saw something and he's like, let's go. Because they're so aware of what's going on around the person that they're protecting. Like, you could even say like they're aware, like from here for like a mile down. I mean, they're really aware. And so when they say move, you move. So that's what I thought about that. And then Jeffree Star gave Shane his own personal bodyguard, and his name is Roman. And what was so funny about that, there were two things about Roman, is Roman, these were like, how can I say, like the sidekicks of the show, and it kind of, in a way, it kind of stole the show a little bit, because no one thought that, the bodyguards would get such positive attention. Yet a lot of women on social media are like, hey, tell, Roman or tell Colin that I'm looking for some, they think they're hot and they're cute and they're going after the bodyguards, so that's pretty cool. But for Roman, it was really funny because Roman told Shane, I know it's hard for you to say no. So if someone's bugging you, I've got your back. And then Jeffree said they were packing too, So, and then at one point, Shane's having like a big old pink cotton candy, and he gives it to the bodyguard, and the bodyguard's like, like, his look was like, like, what? Like, what are you doing? I'm working, don't give me a cotton candy, what? So, but Shane's just like really cool and he doesn't know. He goes, hey, you want some cotton candy? I thought that was really funny too. Okay, so now I want to talk about Shane, which I think I have more to say about Shane in this whole series than I do about Jeffree. It's interesting because it's supposed to be the beautiful life of Jeffree Star, but it seems like Shane is really is going to be the big winner in this whole thing. Like he's going to gain the most. And at the end of this video, I'll explain why. I'll explain why at the end of the video. But so, Shane, I think it's okay to say once, I feel fat and I'm ugly and, what if this and that happens? Just, to put it out there for relatability and to show your audience, this is who I am. This is how I really feel about myself. And that a lot of his demographics, unfortunately, these days feel the same way. Okay. And a lot of it does have to do with social media and, the Jeffree Stars and all the beautiful people in the world, and their perceptions, right? But what Shane Dawson did in this film, and I'm not sure, there's only two reasons why they did this, which is focus. I think the focus on the self-deprecating views that Shane has on himself was a little too much. And maybe that's the way it's supposed to be, because by the time we get to the 9th series, Shane will realize that a person in his position, which, you would think someone with 21 or 22 million subscribers and has done meet and greets before and has had tons of fans screaming after him. This isn't the first time, right? This has happened many times before. You would think that he, would be a little nervous about it, but not be like, I don't know if he was dramatizing the whole thing. That could have been, and it could be for part of the reason that we don't know about for the whole, intention of the series. But for him to act like, first of all, I love the part when him and Rylan are in bed and they're doing their pillow talk, right? And, even when Shane's in the closet and he's like saying, I don't know how they're going to receive me. I don't know how Jeffree Star's fans are going to receive me since they're so focused. He even told Jeffree Star this. They're so focused on looks. And Shane was telling Rylan, and just made it well known to all of us many times that he feels that he's, not attractive or not enough, or that the fans are going to judge him as being fat and as being ugly, and these are his words. And, I just don't think that neither one of them or anyone involved in the project realizes that when you self-deprecate yourself, there is a part that not only lowers your self-esteem or shows your already lowered self-esteem, but there's a part that exudes to the public a lack of credibility, and it's kind of like something with your reputation, okay? Now, that is not going to be as big of a deal for someone who is Shane Dawson, and all these people love him just as he is. I know there's not all of them. I know he's had backlash, and he talked about people in videos sending him these things, and it really pushes his button because this is exactly how he feels about himself, right? And that's why he's sharing it with us. But I think that this part of Shane, there's several parts of Shane that are going to advance to higher levels after this series is done, okay? And I believe that this series is really about Jeffree Star being a mentor to Shane Dawson in business and entrepreneurship. Because this is why. Something big is gonna come out of this for Shane, right? And we are all going to think it's makeup because Jeffree Star, knows makeup. And so they're going to come out with this makeup line. And I have no doubt that the merch and the makeup line is going to be awesome. This is what we can hope for Shane at the end. We can hope that Shane understands to stop comparing himself with others and only compare himself with who he was yesterday. Okay, that's the comparison that you want to do. And to stop negative self-talk. These things don't just stop. You have to work on it, and it's hard work, but you have to work on it. Just like Jeffree Star is teaching Shane how to be an entrepreneur and how to make money and all these different facets of just making a makeup line. Here's my question. Is Shane Dawson passionate about makeup? Okay? Now listen, maybe after this series he will be, but we know that he has never been and that he wasn't because he doesn't know anything about makeup. It doesn't matter because at the end, Shane Dawson may take everything that he's learned from Jeffree Star and this whole beautiful mentorship, this gift that Jeffree Star is giving him in being his mentor, and take it to another place, somewhere that Shane is passionate about, some product, some service, something that he is passionate about. Take everything he's learned and put it in there, and then that explodes. That's what I'm seeing for Shane Dawson. Also, Shane, here's the thing, you guys. Shane Dawson in 2019, net worth $21 million. Jeffree Star, 2019, $50 million. Okay? Shane Dawson has Shane Dawson has 22 million subscribers on YouTube, and Jeffree Star has 16 million. So the reason I'm telling you this is for several reasons, actually. First reason is when Shane's talking about, I don't know anything about money and I want to make money, and, I don't know, like he kind of gave a little, how can I say, indication that he's poor. Like he just, and he did say poor in comparison to Jeffree Star, okay? So if Shane net worth is 21 and Jeffree Star is 50, I just want to put that out there. Shane's 21, Jeffree's 50, okay? The average, 95% of the US, the average net worth is $50,000 for the year. $50,000 for the year. Shane's at 21 million. Jeffree's at 50 million. And Shane feels poor. Not only will Shane, at the end of the 9-part series, hopefully, not only will Shane learn to have positive self-talk, and maybe his self-esteem would have risen because, he's more into business and entrepreneurship, but I think maybe at the end of the series, Shane is going to grow. Just really, really can just advance in many, many levels, intellectually, emotionally, physically, get all of these self-deprecating images that he has on himself. He thinks that people are going to see him this way, yet I've never seen Shane fat. I've never seen a video of anyone saying that he was fat. But I'm just saying, I'm just one person. But I'm sure there's a lot of others like me that saw this film, and we never thought those things, but now we're looking, oh, is he fat? You know what I mean? It's like, don't bring it up if you don't want it to grow. If you don't want it to grow, whatever negativity you have around you, do not put the light. Do not focus on it, because Shane has so much to be grateful for, and he has a lot of money. He has a lot of money. And so what? He wants more. That's cool. And what's really cool is we're all going to learn with him, right? Some people are talking online about how Jeffree Star, wants everyone in his entourage to wear his merch. I think that's a great idea. I think that's how it should be, because I put myself into Jeffree Star shoes, and let's say I had an entourage and I had merch, pretend, right? You know, I want to be walking in front and have my crew in the back, and we're like a team. And the only way to see that cohesiveness is if you can see we're coming and we're a team and we're all together, you know. And so I love that everyone has to wear his merch. I think that's really, really cool. For Shane Dawson at the end of the series, I'm hoping that he's going to be less critical of himself. And as far as Jeffree Star, well, right now he sits at 16 million subs. I think by the end of 2020 he might be double that. He may double that. And also with that comes more money, more beautiful makeup, more merch, and I'm all into it. So you guys, let me know your thoughts below. And I'm really looking forward to keeping up with this series. And let's see, our next one is on Friday. So then I'll see you guys again and I'll make another video. All right, thanks for being here. Bye.